So what we're going to hit on and everything, I know you guys, the last group I was with and everything, a lot of people were brand new to the lighting industry and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you how important it is with the first contact of a customer. You guys have been in business for a while, so you guys know how to handle this, but there's so many mistakes made right from the beginning when you have that first phone call and that first interaction with the customer. So my thing is always, when you're talking to the customer, is you qualify them properly. The problem is we don't remember exactly what to qualify them with when you're talking to the customer. You might be driving, you might be sitting in a different area, or you might be talking with some people. So you got to make sure you get clear, get your head clear, pull over to the side of the road, and give time to talk to the customer, and then ask them, okay, this is a new customer. What are you interested in? What is your name? Where are you located at? And some of the most important things is, how soon before you need your landscape lighting? What happens if you call a guy and says, well, you know, we might be interested in 6 months or a year? Well, guess what? You don't want to be contacting with that person. You want to just go ahead and find out what their needs are, but you don't want to spend your time and use your system to get with that person if they're 6 months or a year away, or, well, we're building a house and we're considering maybe putting landscape lighting in. Well, great. Once you look at our website and everything, I'll get your name and number. Call me when your house is ready, because what we'll do is we'll come out and do a lighting demonstration on your house when you're ready for the landscape lighting. Another question to ask, have you had landscape lighting before? It tells you a lot about the person, because if they've had it before, then you ask them what brand or what make you've had. Some have maybe had Malibu lighting. If they said Malibu lighting, what do you guys think? Where the customer got this stuff? That's from Home Depot, Malibu. I mean, it's junk, right? Or if a guy says, well, I've had Kishler lighting. Well, you know he's paid a lot of money for some landscape lighting. So, but qualifying and getting all the information before you make your plan of attack with how your strategy is going to go with the sale is lining up to make sure you qualify and know everything about this customer. Where are you located? The other thing that's very important is, how did you hear about us? Well, through a friend. He's a referral. I mean, it's important to find out.
That should be one of your number ones.
Yeah. Well, this is it's right up here. So we got it lined up.
Yeah.
The other big question is, where are you located at? Well, this guy might be 60 miles from your house, you know, and then you might be looking at the neighborhood, and you know what? It might be mobile homes. And, you know, this guy might want 2 lights for a mobile home. The next thing is a question that's not important, but you can, is what is the square footage of your house? It gets you an idea what the size of the house is. I think every person that has a house knows the square footage of their house, wouldn't you think? Especially the bigger house. Oh, I got it. 16,000 square foot house. The other thing is very important, is do you have a budget in mind? A lot of people don't ask that. The thing that prompted this thing here is we have a guy that came in our office about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and said, we got a real problem here. I haven't sold a job in 2.5 to 3 months. And we're sitting there going, aren't you getting any customers? He goes, yeah, well, I'm getting some leads, but just no one's buying. So I asked him, I says, how do you qualify a person? He looked at me and goes, what do you mean? I go, what do I mean? I mean, don't you ask information when you're on the phone? No, I just get their name and number and go out to their house. And I go, what do you do when you get out to the house? Well, I look around to see what they need for landscape lighting, and I email them a bid. And so my next question was, how many bids you got out there? He goes, I have 300, how much was it?
$360,000.
$360,000 in bids. And I couldn't believe it. I got upset at our sales rep, because I'm going, wait a second, this guy's got $360,000 in bids in the last 5 months, and he's sold 2 jobs? So I asked him, I says, when you get out there, I mean, you meet with the customer? Well, I really don't like to meet with the customer. What do you mean you don't like to meet with the customer? Absolutely. He's scared to go talk to customers. A lot of people don't line up the questionnaire. Before you even meet with the customer, you want to have the questionnaire filled out. These important things, because that way it gives you ammunition when you get out there to meet with the customer to know where you stand. Okay? Number 6, do you have a budget in mind? Some people will tell you they have a budget in mind. Some people are going to say, well, I don't know what a budget is. Majestic has a good scenario. What do you tell your customers when they ask about the budget in mind?
Well, if we ask them for their budget, a lot of times they'll just say no. And so we'll say, well, I mean, we don't want to like over-design it or under-design it. Just so we know, our minimum project is $2,500, and the average one's about 8 to 10, but it can vary from there.
You designed to a budget? Did you say you designed to a budget?
Yeah.
And some people that say, well, yeah, come on out, and what you're doing the entire time. You guys saw Nels the other day where he's qualifying the customer. He gets in the house, he looks at their furniture, he looks at their jewelry, he looks at how the landscape's done. That tells you a lot about a customer, what kind of car they're driving. Because there's people that like to show things off. The more they show things off, the more they're going to spend on the landscaping and lighting, because what they want to do is they want to impress their neighbors.
And with technology now, it's so easy to get all this information.
Yeah.
Zillow or here or there,
Yeah.
where you know what everything they do, buy, live, or have.
The next thing that I highly recommend is setting up a nighttime demo. I cannot tell you how many people lose money by just going out there and saying, we'll put some lights here, here, and here, and your house is going to look fantastic. My recommendation is get with the customer and say, look, our company, we really take this as a professional attitude here, and what we want to do is we want to help you design the house to your liking. And when we do this, we're going to do a nighttime demo, so you're involved with us to see exactly what your house is going to look like before you buy. Would you be?
So, Reto, on
Yes.
that, for example, so I've got an experience currently where I'm at like Houston. You know, we do this, you have the kits that you build,
Yeah.
those 2 applications, but when we're looking at area lighting or path lighting of sorts,
Yeah.
you know, we need to get something, I think, for everybody that can utilize it. If they're gonna use all the products, some kind of kit's available for that.
We have a kit coming right now. It's called the 70 light kit. It's a $5,000 box. Comes with a transformer wire and everything. You can put 100 light system together for an area within 30 to 35 minutes. I mean, it's just plug in and there you go. If they don't like the light and it's too much light, what you can do is you turn over the S2s and you can budget it down.
He's asking though, you want spots and path lights.
Yeah,
and
we need
different
a
issues.
variety, right? I have
Yeah.
a courtyard, and these people invested the money already. I bought the product, and then showed them in the catalogs. I didn't have the physical one in hand. We put it in. My guys put it in. She hates it, and now I'm going back and backpedaling and trying to come up with a solution, which we will. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
But she made a comment. I will.
Did you guys do a nighttime demo with her?
No, I mean, it was $8,000. But again, even if I did a nighttime demo, I don't have a product in hand to where her dismay is over the path light and the area lights.
Yeah.
We use the PLO8s is what we used. And we're looking at either trying another option with either a P3 application, a low profile, maybe a 2700 Kelvin, or maybe even an amber application. She wants an omni and glow in that whole courtyard. That's the whole thing. Didn't want to blow it out the world. So what we produced for her with the 8 PLO8s was too bright, too big, too bulky, too industrial.
Did you use any uplights or is it all just
Yeah,
path
there's
lights?
uplights. We
And she's happy with those?
Yeah, and then the backwash of the wall.
Wow.
That's all done. It's just those paths are her pet peeve.
Yeah.
And that's what's
See, one of the things, one of
in my pocket right now.
You can
Yeah.
drive his path lights off your cooking.
yeah, you can dim those down.
Basically, you'll just get your path light and put one of the clips on it and use it in your demo. And have 1 or 2 or 3 of each that you're going to sell to be the best, and you'll be able to demo that too.
Which I'll do. We'll have a shaft because they're all universal on that, and then the different paths.
You know, demo is so important because I'm just sharing. If you would have demoed this customer and she would have seen, and then she could have said, no, I don't like this, I don't like that, and you can do the adjustments right there before you do it. I mean, I remember one of my very first jobs I did, and this is before I was doing demos and stuff. The customer said to me, well, I'd like to see what the lighting looks like. You want to take over?
No.
So one of the first demos I did was not really a demo. The customer goes to me, goes, well, what if I don't like it? And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what if you don't like it? I haven't been in this position, and I wasn't doing demos. So the guy said to me, he goes, I'd really like to do it, but if I don't like it, I don't want it. And so I made a decision. I says, you know what? I'll go ahead and light up your house and do it the way I recommend it. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back and I'll take the product out. So I went ahead and put the whole lighting system together, put it in, did not bury the wire, asked him if he liked it. He goes, yeah, I like this, but I like this a little different. We made the adjustments and everything, and he bought the lighting system. And it was a good deal.
So you're creating a new kit for a demo kit, right?
Yes.
You're going to have just a variety of different lights in that kit?
No, what we're doing is, the problem is if you have the demo kit with stakes, you got to stake them and everything and pull them out. Some areas take stakes, some areas don't. So what we do is we have a light called the S2. So the S2, we're engraving, it says demo only. We're putting a 12-foot lead on there with a plug. And then we have a wire that has 32 plugs in it at 125 feet. And you get two wires. I take that back. I think they're 45. So 2 with 45. You get 70 lights. You get S1s with 15-foot leads, because in case you need to put them up, you know, on the second floor or something like that for the demo. And by doing that, you can do a complete demo, have it set up within a half an hour, and go and hit the switch. When you S1s and S2s. And the nice thing is you don't have to put in a stake or anything like that. Remember last night's demo? Those were all S2s in the colors last night for dinner. So, and if a person says, well, I really don't like that light over there, or that's over my budget, let's take off some lights, you just go over there and turn a few lights over. And when they see that turned over, you know they're going to like what they saw first, and now you're going to be able to go ahead and pull on their pocket string a little bit, get more money out for doing the design of what they've already seen. Because if you don't show it, they won't know it. You remember that, I haven't taken you to that house in Denver yet that I did for that millionaire, but that house is a perfect example. We put in several hundred lights to this guy's house, and that's how I met Mark. But when I got there and everything, the landscaper already had the landscape design, the lighting architect had the lighting designed with the landscaper, and there were only like 5 lights on the house. So when I met with the homeowner, I met with the landscaper, the architect, I mean, all these people are out there, and we're talking about lighting, and no one could visualize what my design was. So I told them I'd come back in a month, and I brought, remember the little S1s? I brought like 15 S1s. I only put a small area in the front entrance of the house with these 15 little lights, which would be turned into mini well lights. And I showed them the design, and they were all beside themselves. They couldn't believe it. So his lighting budget just tripled of what he had in mind budget, because when he couldn't see it, he wasn't going to spend the extra money. But once he saw the lighting budget, he was able to see the extra money. And I think your guy is going to be doing a lot more demos now, right?
Yeah, well, we got one guy that does them and another one is, you know, not so much, but it always does. If you have any trouble, if people are trying to take money out of the budget and you're not going to get a check right then, you need to set up a demo, because you just set up, we don't do like a 100 light demo, we'll do like 15, 20 lights, and literally we'll just deck out one section, and they'll come out the first thing, well, what about over here, and what about these trees, and they'll sell themselves the 100 lights.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not sure I like the all Saturn demo.
Well, you know, you can aim, but here's the thing: you want to get them a preliminary look of what it's going to look like. So that way, once it's done, they're going to be like, "Wow, we love this system." But the other thing that's so important is I went out to a demo, and where's our friend Corey at? The reason I did a demo box is because I ended up at a demo. Corey had a demo, I think 150 lights, and I got out there. And the customer's meeting was at 7 o'clock at night. And I'm trying to think, there were a couple other people that were at this demo that are new lighting designers. We get out there at 7 o'clock, the homeowner's standing outside, Corey and his guys are running back and forth, trying to hook up wires and everything. I'm watching this, and this went on for another hour and a half. I'm talking to the homeowner, this beautiful big mansion she has. She's like, you know, I wonder when they're gonna have this ready. And these lights are on, then they're off, they're on and are off. I'm thinking, what the heck is he doing? So I told him, I says, Corey, number one, you need to have this demo ready for the customer when it's still daylight. And number two is you come out, you talk to the customer, and then you hit the switch where it's like, wow, this is what the house looks like. Not lights on, off, and getting glimpses and everything. It was a circus. So I came back and I got with my engineers. I says, let's figure out how to do a demo pack. And that's how we came up with the first 70 light demo pack. Guess what? Corey's business has now doubled because he can go out there and look professional and turn the lights on when they're sitting in demo and giving the flip switch.
How long before that's available?
If you put an order in, you'll be next on line. So, all right. Huh? You want one too? So you have to. So you're number two. They're on back order.
I ordered it an hour ago, so I'm on back order.
Yeah, you hear he only said one.
I just take care of it.
One
I know
demo.
we got off tangent.
Start out with one.
I know whose car is going to stay.
Yeah. Let's. Marcel. Come. Don't. Where are you going? Come on.
Orchard?
You need to be doing this before. Oh, I thought you were getting something.
Reto, I know I got off tangent with the demo kits, but on the pre-qualifying, one of the things, we always have an office manager answer the phones. The girls will sometimes, if you don't train them right, they'll get all this valuable information. And they'll write, home value 1.5, wants lights in the front. And you're like, okay. They'll put the source, Google, whatever, but the customer told them, yeah, we had lighting, but it was installed by this guy and didn't do a very good job 6 years ago.
See, that's why it's important to fill in the qualifying sheet. Tell them about our qualifying sheet. How we go crazy if our salespeople don't qualify you guys. It's all about qualifying because we qualify our customers. We might have a guy in Bismarck, North Dakota, and they don't even want LED lighting because the snow is 10 feet deep and they need the hot lights to go ahead and melt the snow. I mean, so you got to definitely qualify. And that's why a qualifying sheet, you want to write in everything so you can go back and say, oh, I missed this, or you get an idea of how to qualify the customer. But the qualifying sets up the sale. So when you are asking how soon before you need the lights, what is your budget in mind and everything, set up that demo and ask them if everything is to your satisfaction, you like it, would you be ready to purchase now? So you're already making the sale before you get there. And they said yes. And there's one other thing that's so important is make sure you tell the homeowner or the customer that your time is very valuable and their time is very valuable. When I come out there, because it costs me a lot of time and energy to do a demo, so I would like two things. I want to make sure that both decision makers are there, working on the design with us, and that we turn off our cell phones so we're uninterrupted. And when you do that, now you're setting the stage to make sure that you have both people. How many times have you been out there, oh, well, I need to talk to my husband, or he had a good one over here where they had a guy that's been the national sales manager for a major company for 3 years in a row, and they ended up going to a demo on a Saturday morning, and the guy had his golf bags and was walking out the door.
That's always fun.
Yes, and Ryan had to go and meet with the homeowner and call him a dick, right?
Yeah.
So the important thing is a lot of people miss it because your sale happens right from the time you're talking to that customer. And if you're not doing a demo, get into the habit of demos because spending an extra 30 minutes to an hour with that homeowner could be $2, $3, $4, $10, $50,000 in your pocket. That's how people miss it all the time. There's a guy that had a house, and he ended up, you remember those plastic well lights from,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't from Unique. You remember those?
Oh, I have several hundred.
Yeah. So I went to a house, and they did our PVC well lights, and I asked the guy, I go, what'd you sell this job for? And it was only about 50 lights. For $50,000 and these PVC well lights. And I asked him, I says, man, but you didn't light up the house. He goes, yeah, I know. I thought about it after the fact. If I would have lit that, I could have probably sold it for $150,000. I was like, wow, because there's a lot of people, they don't qualify the customer. They just wing it. Does anyone have any questions? You need to go? Go.
Are you guys, who's already qualifying customer? Has a systematic way for qualification?
Got to. I drive too
Like, it's like you guys have a sheet that you qualify people.
Do you have a qualifying sheet?
Yeah, I mean,
What are-
I think I helped with this a little bit too.
Did you?
What are some of, when you,
Were you talking to Jeanette about it?
Mario.
Mario? Okay.
the guys that are
Because I made the salespeople get with customers to find out what I wanted everyone to work together on it.
for you guys that are qualifying people, you ask decision maker questions, right? So how do you ask that decision maker question? Are you asking it, are you the decision maker? How do you guys ask that question?
Make sure they're both there. We struggle
Yes.
with it, but everybody says it and they're never there.
You can't do an appointment when there's one person there. No.
Well,
You're wasting your time.
$500 or under, yes. $500 or more, no way.
What I'm asking is, how do you ask that question?
right, but we can't get them there.
Well, then you're gonna have to make up an excuse and reschedule.
Decision makers are present at the time that we have our
You're
meeting.
not gonna get it.
So I'll throw this out because it's worked quite a bit in the past. The way you asking the decision maker question, saying, is there anybody that needs to be involved in making this decision, or is it just you? So they have to respond to the question saying, it's just me, and then you know if they're BSing when you get there.
Yeah.
Or exactly. Or if they say, well, you know, I got to talk to somebody, it's like, well, now you're involving somebody else in that decision. Because saying, hey, are you the decision maker? They're like, yep. They can just say yes, and then, oh, well, I just.
Well, I do it better. I always ask, can I have both, husband and wife there? Sometimes you got to watch it because it might not be husband and wife. It might be, your significant other and everything. But the reason I want both of you there is that way we can do the design up to your likings. Because I have a.
What if you just say, I mean, can we make sure that both decision makers are present?
Yeah, or,
And then another thing to do is say, that way I can address any questions that anybody may have at that
Yeah.
time. While I'm here present with you guys with the time.
Two questions. So
That-
who's the
that-
design for? You, the spouse and wife, who's the design for? Okay, who's gonna pay the budget? That would be me. Okay, take both of y'all there.
does anyone do education of the product to the customer? Do any of you guys do that?
Education of the design.
And they wanna like.
How about the product?
And that's good for product. Mine look at warranty, and they see they're covered.
Warranty and pricing is usually what drives it.
Don't be scared to use the qualifying sheet in your close. Because they've already told you how to close it. Hey, I thought if everything looked good, we were gonna make a decision. Everybody said that they're gonna be here, so on and so forth. And the involved thing is, it encapsulates the beginning to the end. Does anybody need to be involved in this decision? Oh, I'm the only decision maker, which one-leggers, that's never true. Well, you said that, you'd be able to make a decision. What didn't I get out of when I called you? What did I do? Because you did something wrong. At that point, you did something wrong. Because if they told you that they're ready to make a decision, then you got to retool.
The other thing that's so important is I always felt it was important to educate the customer on the quality of the product. So, number one, you have low-end customers. Real low-end customers, you might want to go ahead and sell them an F777 with a drop-in bulb. But you educate them, saying this is not an integrated system. This is a basic system. It's a standard landscape light with an LED bulb in it. This is a price point sale. Then we have the next thing, which is a V2, which is an integrated, beginner integrated system. And then we have the V3, which is top of the line, top chips, latest technology on the market. And there is a price difference. This one sells for, here, here, and here. And what you do is you educate the guy. And so when a guy comes out and says, well, we have an LED lighting system, or they've already had 2 quotes on LED lighting systems, now you're making a question, well, wait a second. What was he quoting us on? Was it a light with a light bulb in it? Was it a integrated? Is it true? Now you already look like a professional, where this other guy didn't educate. We have a guy in Orlando that does most of Walt Disney World, and he was doing this big putt-putt golf thing, and it took several hundred lights, and the LED lights just came on the market with us. I think we were a year into it, and he went to go sell the V2, did the presentation, they loved the lights and everything, and he never heard back from them. And I asked Steve, I says, did you educate these guys about the integrated system and non-integrated? He goes, no. He goes, I went by there 3 weeks later, and they bought someone else's lighting system, and there was the bulbs, the drop-in MR16s. And he kicked himself, and he said, oh man, I should have let the people know and showed them this is the junk, this is the medium, and this is the upper end stuff. If you don't show them that, they're not going to know. Because you guys all have a car, right? You guys just go out to the car dealership and said, I'll take a car. I'll do a blue car.
Here's my budget.
Don't ever,
We use good, better, best.
Yeah, same thing.
We use the same thing, just like that. Drop in, you know, the next level and the next.
Yeah, perfect.
don't ever damn anybody else's product.
No.
Hey, when you say, have you ever had a lighting system?
Right.
What did you like about it? Oh, it was bright, the customer service is awesome, and they maintain. So if I'm able to do these three things, plus American made and a 20-year warranty,
Right.
once you start damning somebody else's product, they're wondering why. You know, you want to compliment them because the problem is your buyer feels dumb for buying the wrong product.
stuff, right.
You want to compliment, hey, you did a great job, but have you thought about this and that? And then you can go right into the, if I could do those 5 things, would we maybe be making a decision today, or however you want to say it.
You know, remember, when a person calls you out to their house for landscape lighting, that's what they want. They don't want to waste their time and think, oh, geez, you know, I'm going to be a tire kicker, and we're going to a mall, and we're going to go look at some stuff, and, you know, you're having a person come to the house, and it's your responsibility to qualify the customer and make the sale happen while you're there. When you leave and you don't have a check in the hand, you know what, you just lost 80% of your momentum of getting that person as a customer.
It's an uphill battle. Uphill battle.
Well, I don't want to be too forward with a customer. Well, you need to be forward with a customer. Say, what will it take for you to buy the product today?
You're a professional, right?
Yep. Can I make it worth your while? Let's close this up today. Well, I need to think about it. Well, what do you need to think about? Well, we like to sleep on it. Well, why do you need to sleep on it? I mean, I've showed you. I gave you 3 different prices here and everything. So what is the problem?
Why?
No.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
It's so crazy.
What's up?
These people told me. These
Then you
people
get
told
your-
me I gotta pray about it. These people told me I gotta pray about it, and I said. they go. What? He said yes. Thank you, Jesus. They're like, what the hell are you doing? I'm praying. You didn't say when.
I could see Ryan breaking into that.
I like that. I'm gonna steal one out of you.
Yeah, no problem.
Are you giving me a hard time because
What if you bring it up? Hey, can we pray?
Yeah, can we pray about it?
we're gonna be praying for you?
He said yes. You're good.
But literally, one thing that we do, it works literally 9 times out of 10. They go, well, you know, they're both there, you know, well, we just need to talk about it. No problem, totally understand. I'm going to be out in my truck, I'm going to make some phone calls, come out and get me when you're done. You just walk into the house, they will come get you in about 10 minutes.
But leave their stuff inside.
Yeah.
Do not
Leave your stuff.
Oh, no, yeah, you're gone, because you don't have time to get your stuff. You're out. They'll come get you and say, all right, yeah, we're ready to do it.
And if they walk in the door with your stuff in hand, you know what? They're gonna try harder.
Yeah, they're bringing it back to you.
Was I a rough sale on you? No, when I met you. I showed him our product line. I tried to get him.
He showed me the product, and I said, okay, this is good product.
But remember what you said to me? I am you said I've been doing unique for years. I'm a unique guy. I said, great. I says, but if you could ever use this and everything, but I was able to read Mark because Mark's not one of the type of guys that wants to sell a hard sell. I already knew he was sold after we had lunch because he was like, wow, this product, I mean, it spoke for itself.
So,
I didn't even make it back to the office from Denver, and he already had orders in.
I gotta think about
Does
it.
anybody, after they pre-qualify, does anybody send out, just a little thing about your company to homeowners before
Yeah.
you go? I do.
Yeah, it establishes credibility.
And that's an appointment call.
Yeah, like I send out like a little folder, hey, this is us, this is what we do, here's some references for your area, blah, 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 blah.
That's nice. That's nice.
And I don't practice this, but I should, is if you get
You know, the marketing on one of our guys, and I really like his marketing because he's got it tuned in. What he does is he sends mailers to zip codes.
Yeah.
And I don't like zip codes, but because some people already have landscape lighting, but he ends up sending the mailers. And then in the summertime, what he does is he sends knockers. People actually go knocking on the doors. And after they send them a few mailers and everything, they go, we're in a neighborhood, we just want to know if you've seen our product, we sent you some mailings on it and everything, and that opens it up. And then if the people are saying, yes, we're interested in landscape lighting, these guys are only knockers, they're not salespeople, make a quick call, here you go, we're ready, and they send a salesperson right out there.
Zip code, but down to carrier routes.
Yeah.
So that you can actually see the income, the median income.
Right.
You can dial it down to, that area.
Right.
Sure, and not the whole zip code, because you have.
Yeah, we buy lists, we buy lists on home value
Well, now, we've only done it once or twice, but it's something we'll probably drop 1,500, and then come back a couple of weeks later, drop the same place, and try to hit them at least
Yeah, no, 6 times.
6 times.
6 times. You got it. Yeah. Does anyone know what wolf tanning beds are?
Yeah, I do.
I bought one of those back in the 1980s, late 80s, early 90s. And what happened was somehow I got on their mailing list, and every month they sent me this postcard. And it's still imprinted. It's a blonde in a yellow bathing suit getting out and says, how do you want to get tanned today? And this would come once a month for $39.95, $3,995, and they kept hitting me. And I was dating this girl, and she's like, God, once you get that, okay, I made the call, boom, they truck delivered this thing for $4,000. What a nightmare that I had all kinds of problems.
Yes, exactly.
But that's mailing where you constantly keep repetitive. The other thing that I learned in business that was really good for me was I made a coupon, and this coupon I had on there, because the thing you guys don't know is I did, before I got into manufacturing and everything, I was in the retail of installing and designing landscape lighting systems. I have over 2,000 lighting systems personally in the ground. I didn't install all of them, but I designed and sold probably 80% of those. So what happened was, what I did is, an idea, this guy I was selling some of my product that I was importing to in Fort Lauderdale told me about what he does, and it was a coupon. It looked like a real nice solid certificate. And I would write the person's name in there, and to the new homeowner, they would get $100 off their lighting system. And the person that would give that to that person had the name on it because they had to give me the voucher, and I would give that homeowner that recommended me to that customer $100. I had one lady send me 16 referrals. She got $1,600. I mean, I still get calls from people from years ago saying, hey, I got a referral from you. And let me tell you, that's the easiest $100 you ever spent.
if you were to close the deal with those referrals, or is that just?
Oh yeah, no, it's if it's a deal. I mean, it's got to be a close, I
agree.
because if they don't close, then it's not a deal. They have to use the $100 gift certificate. If they don't use it, it's not a deal. But now think about this. I even use it at my close because I said, if you buy a lighting system from me, you can actually pay for your own lighting system by referrals. And like the woman was always, what? And a lot of women would pick that up and send me a certificate back.
Well, the great time is at the end when they're asking for a deal. Hey, well, can I get a couple lights for free, or can I get a discount? Say, absolutely. And then that's what I say. You can pay for your system entirely. You've already, because they'll say, can I get a deal? I mean, I've got friends. I'm a big guy. I know everybody. Hey, it sounds like if you live up to your end of the deal, then you're going to pay for your whole system within a couple weeks. If you got all these people.
They got to work for it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be marketing.
Do you have any questions? You guys are being quiet over here.
Taking it all in.
This is a new venue for you guys, isn't it? Or the installation and design demos. Oh, you have? So at Next Gen you do installation, or how's?
I install on my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, next gen I'm just specification and design.
Okay. And you're working tight with the Majestic guys and everything? Are they teaching you some stuff, or are you teaching them some stuff?
Well,
Okay, good. Did you have any questions?
No, it's kind of different for me being on the red side.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, landscape.
But it's good to learn. What area are you in?
Michael,
In Houston? So that way you get a big job. Let's demo it and get him out to demo stuff. I mean, that's easy fishing right there. How many guys in Specify doing what you're doing will actually go out and demo some stuff on an existing building? You guys should maybe do something, because then you take photographs and stuff and say, hey, we demoed this. And
be in trouble.
what?
Nothing, huh? Nothing, honey.
I'll give you a ride in a Ferrari. I'm going to tie you in the back of it. Put you on a skateboard.
You hearing something?
Recording, they're good.
Boy.
just erased in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. I just want to edit that.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good editing team?
I'll make a note.
Does anyone have any other questions?
On that demo kit, that 70-watt demo kit,
Yes.
are the beam angles adjustable on the S3? Or
No, you order it, and the reason we're doing what's called a 40-degree angle on them. The reason why, in a 40-degree angle, most of the times when you light a building and everything, unless it's columns where you need a narrow beam, but in 90% of applications, we see what we sell in the market between about 70 and 80% is a 40-degree beam. When you get down to the 60, it drops way off. 25-degree, very small, and 12-degree, mostly only in Florida because tall palm trees. So your beam angles, when I first got into landscape lighting, I sold what's called an FMW bulb. That's a 35-watt, 40-degree bulb. I sold probably every single job in that, and I remember we used to talk to guys, oh, well, I use this degree, and this degree, and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you remember all that stuff when you replace the bulbs next year? Because if you look at the maintenance bulb, it had it on there, but it's worn off, so you don't know what.
You have to write it on with like a felt tip.
So one of the things I learned is that the bulb was a little bit too bright or a little bit too less. Just by angling the bulb more into the building, it's brighter. If you angle it back a little bit, it's a 20-watt, and that's how I adjusted my angles. And that was
literally
it.
could use like a 35-40 on all your projects and
Yeah.
turn it into a 60, a 20
Yeah.
watt, whatever it is, just by adjusting.
Yeah.
I think what most people don't realize is the amount.
When we
of
first started,
additional
remember how
light
many
in
lights do
demos.
we have?
Oh yeah.
We had AB and black F7150 and 2 path lights. If you didn't like it, we don't recommend path lights.
I guess one more thing to say about the demo is people think that it takes forever. Like the one thing that families will think is I have to set it aside 2 to 3 hours. Hey, take Sally to soccer, eat dinner. Really, I just need you for 30 seconds. Like people think, oh my gosh, I can't schedule the demo because it's going to mess up my whole night. So
I will say though, I mean, I've had some where they're like, well, I gotta run in and get the kids, and you're like, no, I was about to ask you for 20 grand. Then let's have some wine and do all that.
yeah. I mean,
Is that what you have,
Yeah.
wine?
Yeah, I don't drink it, but it's more than they drink.
oh yeah. You
The
take
later
them
it
a
is,
bottle.
the more alcohol, bring them the more up to itself.
Marcel, we could get him intoxicated. He'll buy anything.
No, I drink water.
We should have taken him to the casino last night.
Well, yeah, that's why it's not clear, so we can't see what's in it.
No, sir. That's a lot of water. I'm doing the Reto cleanse. Freaking, he's going to see Cephas again.
We'll take him to
I don't know about
Cephas. So there's this guy down here. His name's Cephas, and he's
Put
got a
aloe in your shoes.
This is a new one?
Oh, it was nuts. It was nuts.
Tell him about your experience.
It was nuts. First of all, I offended Jameis Winston, which was really funny. He just happened to be standing beside us. But when I saw them drink like 64 ounces of aloe, I was
And
like,
tamarind.
And tamarind.
and then when Cephas said, "Take off your shoe and put an aloe in there," I'm like, "Oh, this is a different place."
You know what it does?
Did he tell you that he had invested in the aloe company?
It does.
did he?
It detoxes. Did you guys know that aloe? If you open an aloe leaf and you cut it in half, scrape the aloe out, put the leaf in your aloe. Yeah, put it in the sole, but with the cut part up, it will suck toxins out of your body.
They say onions do that too.
I did it.
You did it. Didn't you feel good afterwards?
And it wasn't this like, okay, hang on. No, it was. I saw him chug 64 ounces of this stuff.
Cephas is 70 years old. He grabbed his hand and almost crushed his hand. He's like, he shows how strong.
Juice cleanse.
No, it's not a 7-day. What he?
Oh no, it's that day. You better go home after you go see Cephas. It's that day.
You got aloe.
Hey, man, you have to pull the plug, man. That's what he says.
The aloe listens it up.
Boom! Oh.
No, actually, the aloe doesn't. You know what it does? It's the tamarind, right?
Baking soda.
So he gives you tamarind,
Scrubby
and
bubbles.
let me tell you.
Hey, you never know what Reto's coming with. The other day we had a baby coconut. He's like, "Try it." I'm like, "Gee, you made everybody try it."
Sounds like my wife. She's from Thailand, so she eats all that stuff.
Oh yeah, it's always
Good. Keep it
interesting.
clean.
So
and healthy.
you make whatever diet you're on the whole.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh wait.
Look, it's working. Look, it's working. This is before and after. He hasn't started on a diet. He keeps telling me, you know what, there's not water. Hey, look, there's not water in there. You know what he's got in there? Probably a milkshake,
Now I'm walking through the office with my Monster. I see Reto. I'm like, "Why are you drinking that garbage? You're gonna kill yourself." I'm like, "Reto, it's just one drink."
It all starts with one drink.
Yeah.
Like last night, you said, "Are you gonna have dessert?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." But I walked away some pictures. I thought I was gonna die. So,
That shows you that you're in shape.
hey, my girl said,
Mark,
"Don't
tell
lose
them how
any
much
of
you
the-
walk.
Any of that.
Or jog.
That's the love."
I used to, just last year, 50 miles a week. Run.
It's ambitious. Well, clock some in for me.
No problem.
Just think of me. I gotta pray about it.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm doing 20 miles for Marcel. Perfect. Thanks. And you live in Colorado, so I know you're not going flat.
No.
I know. You're like, come on.
Breakfast didn't do it today.
Oh no. Croissant and strawberries. I saw the breakfast across the way. And I was like, I wonder if they would mind.
All right, let's focus back on business here instead of eating and everything. Worried about lunch right now. We'll put you on a fast before lunch. Here, he'll eat probably the whole thing. Here you go.
Oh no.
Have you, oh, he was sitting over here. That's why they're all gone.
Use the clothes, involved, do not interrupt your
Any other questions, guys? Do you understand the ABC 1, 2, 3? Different qualities. That's an old sheet. That sheet's probably. This is the old ABC 1, 2, 3. You know, we did that 18 years ago. I did that with you guys. That's 18 years old on specifics. That was, those prices aren't exactly the right prices.
That was your like good, better, best night.
Yeah. That was just to give you an idea of, how to sell it.
No, we use only the good stuff.
You don't waste your time with all this stuff.
All the integrated.
He has that already.
So who wanted a demo case? So I can get your
He said
orders
first.
in. The first one?
Yeah, I gotta get
Need Luddy?
How many you need?
No.
One.
You're letting get with him on. I've got one built. We'll talk. Yeah, we're thinking.
Well, this is an order. If he wants to, it'll be the first one.
If I get them in now,
The cable's 125 feet. We added 25. It's 10-2 cable, 125 feet.
So we probably want to get like 3 cables.
No, you get 2 cables. On the deal, it comes with 2 cables. One cable's $500. One cable's $500.
let me know.
The problem is our guy's building this stuff. His mother is passing away, or she's got some serious health problems. So he's been on the leave of absence for what, 2-3 weeks already. He's got 2 more weeks to go. So he puts all that together. We were supposed to have one case all together for the demo to show you guys what this thing looked like. It's phenomenal. Comes with a transformer. It comes with 2 125-foot leads of wire, 20 S1 lights, and 50 S2 lights.
You know what I was thinking about how easy it is now too? We used to have to worry about voltage taps and everything on the transformers.
Yeah.
No, it ain't nothing.
Nope.
Can you create a switch
Yeah, there is a remote control switch.
so that you can be out there with them?
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, because I don't want to be out there going, already?
That'd be cool.
So you have it in a transformer and everything. You just click it.
Get on and off.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
I knew you were thinking.
School shooting. We're getting a lot of people information on security.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's